Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Crypto Crow, and it's 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I've got some, I've been super busy since yesterday, working on getting back into mining. I had my miner shut down for a while. I decided to start mining up a bunch of different stuff using a new platform that I'll show you here in a little bit. And I wanted to remind everybody out there, and I've got some crazy stuff to discuss a little bit tonight, DeFi related. It's just getting stupid. I mean, really, it's getting really bad already. And it's a valuable lesson, I think, to some, even though it's going to be wildly ignored by many. But check out chainwise.us. If you're new to the crypto space and you're looking to learn. I used to do courses on Udemy, but I just decided to build my own platform and do these myself. It's just a lot easier. So chainwise.us, it's like $5 a month. There's 4 courses on there. I'm always going to be adding new stuff to them and adding a lot of different stuff that's going to help you guys moving forward over the next year to 2 years. And still have not been liquidated on my long trade, though I do think it's coming as we inch down further and further. These wicks just teasing me. I just saw this tonight. It's at night. It wicked down to 98.26. Basically like $100 away from my liquidation point. And like I said, I expect it to happen this week, unless we get some wild uptick that sends us away, which I don't think is going to happen. I think we're going to go down probably into the 8,000s, like I've said. But I could be wrong, and hopefully I am. But I know that some of you guys out there are like, oh no, 8,000 please, so I can buy more. We'll have to wait and see what happens. The Cardano stake pool is still growing, 260 delegators, but we're nowhere near. We're at 7% saturation, folks. There's plenty of room for us to grow and continue growing. We're at 14.8 million ADA staked. And numbers are all over the place. I don't even know what's going on, but it's like craziness. But it's growing. Estimated blocks in the whole epoch is now at 5.1. We've minted 4 blocks already. And it's a new pool. I mean, we're new. It's new. So it's all good. Also wanted to tell you about this. This is actually what I've been messing with since last night. Actually, I was messing with a lot of different stuff because I wanted to turn my Aeon miner. I built that Ethereum mining rig, 6 GPU rig. I built that out, did a whole video on it. It's down somewhere in there. And I shut it off for a while because I was just kind of like, I was just burnt out, honestly. I was burnt out on the noise, and I was burnt out on my, the whole level just being heated and, during the summer. So I shut it down, and then I'm like, let's start booting it back up. What should we do? And I was playing with all these different mining software packages and all this other stuff. And then I settled on Kudo Miner, which it's actually been performing pretty decently. I did run into a bug. So for those of you guys that are out there and you're trying it out and you're setting it up on your GPU miner, I ran into an issue early. It wasn't even a bug really, but it was a situation where I didn't have enough VRAM. I didn't have enough VRAM allocated to the software. So, and what Kudo Miner does, and they're not paying me for this, but I'll have an affiliate link down below if you want to try it. What it does is it basically picks the most valuable token out of the list from, this thing will mine Monero, Ethereum Classic, Ravencoin, which is what I think my miner's mining right now, is Ravencoin. Basically, whatever the most profitable ERC20 token is within the list of available tokens that can be mined up with the software that's loaded into the system, and then it converts it to whatever you want. And they do charge a fee. I mean, the fees, there's like a 1% pool fee, and then there's like a couple other fees. I think there's a development fee. I mean, it definitely chews you up in fees, but it's super easy to use. You don't have to screw with a lot of stuff. And it's not too bad. And the idea being, because it automatically rotates to the most profitable cryptocurrency to mine, that it's offsetting like the development fees and all of that stuff. And they're probably right. I mean, realistically, they're probably pretty right. So I'm doing it now. I'm trying it out. They never came to me. It's late for me. I've had a busy day. I've been literally grinding stuff all day. So anyway, but that's that. It's pretty fun. I'm not going to get too deep into it. I'm still using it, experimenting with it, but there'll be a link in the description if you want to try it out. So DeFi goes boom as top tokens crash by 50% in 1 week. Let that settle in for you for a minute. The recent crypto market crash has wreaked havoc on DeFi tokens, with 95% of DeFi assets posting a 7-day loss. Now, this is nothing new. This is nothing new to the crypto space, and this isn't focused entirely on DeFi. However, 50% losses is the big kicker here. When there's a Red Sea, when Bitcoin's going down and its sentiment is down and everything, it's like it's like cockroaches in a dark room. You flip that light switch on and everything goes scurrying. And that's kind of what happens in crypto. When Bitcoin goes down, it's like somebody hit that light switch and all the roaches start running off, which is crazy to me. But that's the way it is. In DeFi, it's even worse. And what does that tell me about DeFi? Well, DeFi tells me that this whole industry is being driven by pure freaking greed, abandon, which is one of the reasons why I'm just not into it. I'm just going to tell you straight up. And I, you know, if you've watched me for a long time, you know, I've been telling you guys, like, this stuff is, to me, the majority of DeFi dApps, in my opinion, is like the pet rock. But anyway, nobody listens. The decentralized finance bubble appears to have popped for the time being, with half a dozen top DeFi tokens shedding half of their fiat value over the past 7 days. According to Crypto, I can't help it. It's sad, but what happened to fundamentals, folks? Why are you guys pumping your money into all this shit? According to crypto market data firm Messari's list of DeFi assets, 32 of 34 markets are down over the past week, with only PowerPool, CVP, and Sushi Swap, which I've got another story coming, posting 7-day price gains. The market's hardest hit Curve, which is down 65% this week, followed by Meta with a 58% loss, and Ren with 52%, AirSwap with 51%, and BZX Network and Wrapped Nexus Mutual with a 49% drawdown each. Look, folks, this is Messari right here. This is all the data. Now, what's funny is some of this stuff's at gains. Change versus Ethereum, change versus USD over the last 24 hours. Hydro Protocol, PowerPool, which was just mentioned, BZX Network, UMA, Acropolis, Yearn Finance. I mean, they're starting to make a little bit of a comeback. Kava, I did a review on Kava when it was like 80 cents. Now, Kava's kind of a smaller team, I think, but they're still growing. They're still doing well. I know they've passed over like $3 at one point. Aave Lend is probably one of the most profitable out there, but it's still only 54 cents. Now, here's the thing. I've been trying, so I'm like, you know what? I know the people. I know you guys want DeFi knowledge. You guys want DeFi information. You want to know what's hot out there, what's going to make you rich. I got news for you. When I go through my Messari account, I do have a Messari Pro account, so I have all the info. Look at this. There ain't jack shit for data, folks. This stuff is like, it's just crazy. I don't even know what else to say. And I know there are going to be some of you guys out there, and you're going to be in my comments. Crow, you're an idiot. Crow, you're this. Crow, you're stupid. You're a dumbass. You don't know shit about crypto. This and that and another thing. And I know, because I'm basically telling you that what you've been pumping all your money in and you've been making all these crazy returns over the last 30 to 90 days is the next best. It's the best thing since sliced bread. And because I'm ignorant to what you're doing personally on an individual level, I'm a moron. I get it. But the reality is I'm looking for fundamentals. I'm looking for stats and data and metrics that tell me that something's going to stand the test of time, and then it's not a flash in the pan. Just a flash in the pan piece of shit. I'm sorry, but that's how I look at it. I look at so much of this stuff in the DeFi arena as, I'm looking at mainframe. You know, some of these projects are projects that have completely changed their fundamental perspective. Like they're now we're going to be doing DeFi. I'm seeing a lot of different projects that are now branding themselves as DeFi applications. And I'm not with it. I'm not with it. And especially, look, I know, and if this is Masari's fault, they can suck it too, to be quite honest, because I know that they try to charge crypto companies a lot of money to have their metrics a part of their website. And I've got news for you, Masari. You need to stop being so fucking greedy too, because quite frankly, I know a lot of the projects that you've come to trying to sell your $10,000 services to. I'm not paying you just to double dip on both ends. I want the data. So suck it up and start putting the right data in here, because when I'm looking at these DeFi applications, I'm thinking, did these guys just not pay? Why is there no data here? Is it because it doesn't exist? Am I supposed to think, because their data's not in here, that they can't be trusted, that there's not enough data to collect? Like, what is it? Do you use that as a selling point to these blockchain companies? And then you point to videos and say, well, look, there's no data. It can't be good. Look at this. Look at this. Pay us $10,000 or whatever your fees are. I don't even know. Honestly, I don't know what the fees are. But I look at this stuff and I'm thinking, man, it's like, will the greed ever stop? Will the greed ever stop? I know there are enough members on this website to justify making sure that all the data is readily available. I can't imagine why. Are the expenses so high? Does it cost thousands of dollars to funnel in API data from a particular blockchain or something? Explain this to me. Somebody from Masari, reach out to me. Let me know. Come tell me what a piece of shit asshole I am for knocking you. Because I would like to understand how this site works. I'd like to understand why so many of these projects have no information on them and some do. Did the ones that do have data pay a fee so they can be, proudly displayed and look like they have their shit together? Or what is it? What's the gambit? I'm really obviously a little frustrated tonight. But then I see stuff like this. Sushi Swap. What happened? What it means for DeFi and what's next? Sushi Swap's migration is hours away with $1.3 billion at stake. Here's what you need to know. Let's find out, shall we? Decentralized finance is living through what may become one of the most defining moments. In less than 48 hours, a 2-week-old upstart will attempt to drain liquidity from DeFi's largest exchange in a never-before-attempted vampire-like attack, which right now has $1.3 billion in tokens at stake. I'm not even big on DeFi, and I have a real big problem with this. Sushi ultimately stole everything due to the open source nature, didn't change it, didn't try to make it better, create their own brand. They basically took everything that this company developed, Uniswap, and basically relaunched it and went right for their jugular, and basically said, we're taking your code, we're taking your customers, we're taking everything. Here's a quick summary. An anonymous developer copied Uniswap to make Sushi Swap, which was meant to be exactly the same, except it added a token, sushi, and token rewards for liquidity providers and token holders. 10 days later, the anonymous dev sold all his sushi for $13 million in Ethereum and gave up control to the head of a centralized exchange. This CEX CEO is ushering forward Sushi Swap's original plan to bootstrap its own liquidity by draining Uniswaps. Welcome to DeFi, where the greedy don't stop. From the outside, it may seem like a ridiculous food-themed exit scam, but even if Sushi Swap is tainted by the apparent betrayal of its founder, it represents an emerging model for building and investing in crypto. It may be a flawed early iteration, but it's a new paradigm nonetheless. And those holding on to their old ways, at least in this Wild West within the Wild West, will likely have to adapt. They're basically telling you, expect the worst of people in the DeFi space because this is just the beginning. I'm sorry, guys. You know, when it comes to ICOs, when it comes to startup companies, when it comes to trying to better understand the fundamentals and the team makeup and the overall vision for, startup companies in the blockchain space, I'm all for it. When it comes to the DeFi space, where it's literally a matter of, here, stake some tokens, get some more that are worthless, and you're yield farming for this token and that token, and you're trying to sell them, and they're trying to increase. I mean, what's the fucking point? What is it all about? What's it for? Who does it serve? What's the utility outside of just trying to make some quick profits? And what happens when stuff like this goes down, or worse? I'm telling you, this is literally just the beginning, guys. I mean, this is bad. I mean, this to me makes my stomach hurt, and I don't even give two shits about DeFi right now. Some required context. Uniswap works by replacing order books of traditional exchanges with pools of tokens paired with Ethereum, which guarantee a swap can always happen. Liquidity providers are incentivized with trading fees, and there is no native governance token. Sushi Swap was announced on August 26th as an evolution of Uniswap, which added community-oriented features to further benefit the actors involved, namely a token. In Uniswap, trading fees are distributed among liquidity providers. In Sushi Swap, trading fees plus sushi tokens get distributed to liquidity providers. A portion of the fees also get converted back to sushi and distributed to sushi token holders, so that if an LP stops providing liquidity, they can continue receiving part of the protocol's fees by holding the token. Sushi is also the key to participating in the protocol's governance. So this here actually sounds interesting. It sounds good. But it's dirty. It just sounds dirty to me. Vampire mining. But Sushi Swap's main innovation was in its plan to not only indirectly compete with Uniswap by providing additional incentives, but to directly suck its liquidity through its aptly named scheme, vampire mining. I mean, come on. To understand the concept of vampire mining, you have to first understand that Uniswap's LPs get a token, which represents their deposits in the DEX. The way for initial participants in Sushi Swap to earn sushi was to deposit Uniswap's LP tokens. These Uniswap LP tokens would then be swapped for the underlying asset so that Uniswap liquidity would become Sushi Swap liquidity. It is simply unheard of in the real world to not only copy a business, but literally steal its clients. This is like Jerry Maguire with like a demon in him. DeFi works as an endlessly interconnected ecosystem because the protocols on it are open source. They can be copied and built on. And because they create things such as Uniswap's LP tokens, which become composable pieces that can be used elsewhere. These features enabled Uniswap or Sushi Swap and its vampire scheme. And it just keeps going and gets worse. Read the article, guys. Look, all I can tell you is like I'm just getting really frustrated with the space when where it's heading. There are so many really solid projects that are fundamentally sound, they have solid teams. They've been working through the bear market. They're doing everything they can. And then you've got these guys putting a couple weeks into something, calling it DeFi, then they're just selling out for tens of millions of dollars or $13 million, however much these guys are making. And they're intentionally hurting the space overall. And I guess for some folks, it's not a big deal. For the typical end user that's just looking to make a quick buck on the latest DeFi trend or whatever's going on before it crashes, more power to you guys. But I'm out. I mean, I don't even know what else to say other than I'm out of this crap. And that's it. I don't even know what else to say. I'm like deeply frustrated by that story. I'm deeply frustrated by the DeFi space. I'm deeply frustrated with Ethereum's trading fees. I'm deeply frustrated that Cardano's, smart contracts, Goguen, all that is going to take longer than I expected. I'm just tired of a lot of stuff, and it's been really difficult for me to get motivated. I've been working on other things. I was just building my wife's website. I was rebuilding her website because she's an author. And she writes like short stories and novellas and things like that. And, and I've just been helping her with that. And I've spent all day on it. And I'm like reading through the news and I'm like, man, this stuff is so dark. DeFi to me, it just feels dark. And when the solid projects, when DeFi finally like turns the lights out on everybody, not only does it scare me, but it excites me in a way because I'm ready for that shit to kind of be done. And I don't want anybody to get burned. I just wish people were a little, when I first started working with an old business partner of mine, he used to always call me a purist. Oh, you're such a purist. You're a purist. And I guess to some degree I am. I mean, even still in my 40s, there are just things that I think are cool. I would much rather see a legitimate company do everything they can to raise capital and make their dreams come true and fail than one of these bogus DeFi applications that suck up a bunch of money. The guy exits, doesn't give two shits what he does with the company or what happens with it because he's made his money. He's out. He made $13 million in a matter of less than a month. All because it's DeFi. And a lot of this shit isn't even really DeFi, folks. It's just a smart contract-based money cycler. That's all half this shit is. But it's DeFi. And it's like, I don't even, you know what? I'm done. It's 10:30, 22-minute video. I'm just going to cut it here. I don't even know what else to say. I'm just kind of dumbfounded. But this sector of cryptocurrencies can straight suck it as far as I'm concerned. I don't like what it's about. I don't like what it stands for. And I'm going to FUD the shit out of it every opportunity I get, just so you know. If you don't like it, I don't even know what else to tell you. But to me, this stuff feels like, even though it's not, it feels like BitConnect people that lost tens of thousands of dollars mortgaging their house or refinancing their house to go throw it into the next Ponzi, hoping to get their money back. And a lot of this stuff just feels similar, even though I know it's different. Some of the stuff is cool. And look, if it were blatantly obvious what this stuff is, but so many people are diving into this without really even having a clue as to what's really going on behind the scenes. They just see, what's the new token? I'm going to go stake some stuff on it, make some quick cash, watch my tokens rise. And I don't know. It feels hollow to me. It feels hollow. And what happens to something that is hollow? It's easily crushed. And I just think that DeFi is an unsafe bubble. And I'll be holding out for a lot of these ICO projects that were kicking tail in 2017, proven themselves over time, survived the bear market, had the fundamentals to keep them going and growing. And that's what I'm going to hold out for. I guess until next time, good night. And I'm obviously completely exhausted, and I'm just over a lot of this stupid shit. Crow your coins.